So I would like to talk to you about my approach to creativity and vocal work and body work. So it's called the Taika Method, and Taika means the song of the body in Japanese. And so it's an integrated approach to all things movement, voice and creativity. It's based on 4 branches. So the first branch is a holistic approach to body work. So taking into consideration not just the body as a vehicle, like a car that we get in and we go from A to B, but as a very rich and complex organism with many layers. So we look at holistic practices so we can keep the body balanced. Also spiritual practices, and so each person has their own needs with regards to their existential questions and their spirituality. So this needs to be adapted for each person. And then the second branch is called our unique vocal signature, or the unique voice. And this is really important for even people that don't sing. It's really just important for us to give ourselves value in life, in a world where people are telling us how to be, following styles and practices. So we have to remember that we are absolutely unique. There will never be someone like us in the future, and there was never anyone like us in the past. And so this is the same for our voice. Our voice is as unique as we are. It's the sound that comes from our body, our bones, our flesh, but also our inner feelings, what we feel in our heart, what we feel or think, what happens in our imagination. So everything that makes us who we are, the part, if you believe in spirit, then the soul, then there's that part of it. Or maybe if you don't change anything for you, it's how you, I guess even if you're, for example, atheist, there's still a part of you that is indescribable, and as you're not a clone, you're a unique happening in the world. So that's unique voice, basically. Of course, we can always talk about it a lot more than that, but yeah, your voice, everything that you've lived, everything that you believe in, everything that you feel strongly about, or your emotions, comes through your voice. And so we have to work from that place. We have to anchor ourselves in that knowing that when we feel judged or when we feel unsure, that we keep strength, keep anchored, keep centered, knowing that no one else can be like us, and our voice has to be heard. We has a right to hear your voice. Everyone has a right to speak, and the world needs to hear every voice, every voice. And this is something I feel strongly about, so I'll talk about this more at another time. And the third branch is nature, connection practices. So whatever that looks like for you, if you live in the middle of a huge city, maybe your connection with nature is going to a park, sitting under a tree, or maybe it's watching nature videos, or maybe it's having a plant on your windowsill and speaking to it, for example. I chose to live in the countryside so that I could walk out my front door and see the sky and walk amongst the trees at will. And so I talk about the fourth branch, which is heart and soul practices. So there's a little kind of play on words, because yes, heart and soul practices, but for me, heart and soul and art are all linked together. It's this inner dialogue, conversing with the outer world. So humans have this amazing gift, being able to create something that's inside, something that's exists. So our imagination, an idea, an intuition, something that is not visible outside world, and we are capable of creating it and making it into something physical, kind of manifesting it into a physical reality. So any kind of practice that fosters this capacity to facilitate this dialogue, interior, exterior, inner, outer, I consider art and soul practices. So maybe if you don't think you're particularly artistic, it doesn't matter because it works for you. It might be writing in a journal, it might be just ideas coming into you under the shower, it might be sewing or cooking, it might be dancing, all those things. And even if you don't create anything from that, this capacity or developing this capacity and awareness of this inner voice is really fundamental for me. Also, that's why it's part of my method. So that's kind of the 4 branches that I like to work around in any kind of movement or vocal practice, and maybe how to adapt this method for you, because I'm not going to tell you what your art and soul practices are. I'm not going to tell you what to believe. I would like to support you in developing or bringing together all the tools. Maybe you have many tools already, and it's the idea of this method is to bring all the tools that you have and maybe teach you some other tools to support your voice, to support your creativity, to support your body, whether it be for health or for artistic purposes. So I would like everyone to free their voices, that for all us all to have our voices liberated. So that could be your physical like voices, but also your inner expressive voices. That's all I have to say now. I will say thank you and take care.